Salafa. This is Bayan now, but the first time that we started the Bayan, it was not like that. I can tell you that it was nothing, really nothing.
Okay, well, Bayan has changed a lot from the time we first came in May of 1985 with Melissa and Peter Burt from Canada. Well, Bayan didn't exist then, but philosophy has changed tremendously. And some people attribute it that those changes have occurred since we put the hospital here. It's changed physically, it's changed in the composition of people.
Really, there are three elements that kind of came together to bring about, at least from our point of view, Project Bayan. One was hearing Councillor Eloy Anello back in the Merida, in the Quito conference in 1982, when he was an auxiliary board member at that time, talk about social and economic development, and using the writings of Abdul Baha was the first time that, at least for me, there clicked a relation between the principle of the faith and their actual application in the whole field of socio-economic development. That's one thing. The second thing then was the fact that my work professionally at that time with the Agency for International Development brought me into contact with themes related to socio-economic development. So just as part of my daily professional life, there was this interest in development, and always this kind of my increasingly looking at developmental problems with the Baha'i principles in mind, and increasingly seeing this vast gap, it seemed to me, between the way we did things and the way, at least that I understood, they should be done, or could be done, applying Baha'i principles. And the third thing, also a Baha'i-related event, was when the Trail of Light came to Honduras.
Hi, this is... What's your name? I'm Anna Smith. And I'm Amy Smith. We're the daughters of Bayan and Marilyn Smith, who were two of the fathers of Bayan.
Sharon first came out of that building in August of 1985. The land had lots of shrub and brush and tall grass, and it had to be cleaned. And we first started building their home. And at that time it was built without any electrical tools. All of it was hand-hewn wood. And so it took a long time, and it was very rustic. Then it looked very different than what we do now.
What was her name, Leah? Vern Iverson, and his wife, when they came down here, I remember we stood around because we didn't have ceilings. We only had so we'd have this bucket while we were saying prayers in the middle of the living room, because we'd say prayers in a circle, and every time like a beagle would get on us, we'd just throw it in the bucket, because that way they'd die.
Or the water.
Into the water, exactly. And I remember Leah, she was going crazy because she had like curly hair, so they kept getting in, and she was like going so crazy. One time she screamed and just ran downstairs. So that was so funny. This is very sad.
This group of North American indigenous people who visited Central and South America, and that was my first prolonged contact with indigenous people, and it really created within me the desire, if possible, to work with indigenous groups. So Marilyn and I, over the years, talked about taking off a couple of years, we thought, and going someplace and if possible in an indigenous area, and trying to apply Baha'i principles of socioeconomic development. And eventually, we settled on this village of Palacio.
Our whole life is centered around the faith, like teaching kids everything we do. Everything is for Baha'u'llah and stuff. Like every morning, and just the way our parents have brought us up of always saying prayers, of trusting in God, of leaving everything in His hands, trusting in His will. That's really nothing.
There was nothing for these people, especially for the hospital staff, for doctor staff, for medicine stuff. So we decided to come here and set up the hospital and help these people.
To live with the savages, and I really grown to love them a lot because I've learned so much from them, you know. And I know all of us, it's been really hard for all of us to get adjusted to another family.
Oh, well, maybe the Sabri-Purs and ourselves could do this project together. That would put two physicians out here, and so we went and talked to the Sabri-Purs. Shang came out and visited, I think, at the end of May.
The other part is when we were watching movies, like the motive was the toilet, and the TV was connected to the same thing. So whenever we were watching movies and someone went to the bathroom, we were like, don't flush the toilet.
Bar told us he thought this was just the kind of project that the World Center was looking for in this newly initiated interest in social and economic development. So he asked us that we develop a proposal, and we could send it back with him to the World Center. The only problem was he was leaving early the next day. So we began working on the proposal that actually gave rise to Project Bayan at about 10 o'clock one Saturday evening. Pulled it out of the printer, I guess, at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning, having worked all night. And then we showed it to Mr. Dunbar and said, okay, what happens next? When will we hear, when do you think we'll get an answer back? And he said, well, just start. So that's what we did. And that was kind of the birth of Project Bayan in August.
When we used to give gifts, like whenever it was someone's birthday, we'd always get something that was, because there were like no stores. There are a lot more now, but there were no stores we could just go down and buy anything. So we'd always find something that we had of ours. Usually, we'd always say it was something special, but I think it was usually something new. We want that much more. But what we did was we take it and we'd wrap it in like sometimes just plain paper, and we'd color it over, and then we'd wrap it and we'd give it to the person. And I remember, yeah, we just give anything, you know. We give it, and then like one time I gave something to Sade, I don't remember what it was, and then Sade would give it to Melissa, and Melissa would give it to back to me, like, and then one time just like things like that, like I'd be giving something to Sade, and Amanda would go, that's mine, I remember that, and just things like that, because we just passed everything around. It was harder giving Sarai gifts, because she was a boy, but we usually got, she gave him.
One of the most unique things about Project Bayan is the relationship that the founders of the Smith and family, the Smith and Southernport families have developed, is that we really forged a family, uniting the two families. And it wasn't always easy at times, but our strong desire to maintain the unity and to not fail, because every time we received a letter from the World Center, it was so encouraging, and knowing that prayers were being said for the project, we knew that we couldn't let it fail. So one of the main reasons that we were able to maintain this unity and this forging of the two families was our use of consultation that we discovered over the 7 years that the best way, or really the only way to solve any problems or differences or difficulties is to consult. And every time we have done that, we've just been amazed at the solutions that we've come up with. And trying to do it individually or any other way wouldn't have worked. But through consultation, it's the most useful tool that the Baha'i faith has to offer the world to maintain unity and solve problems.
Since its doors opened in May 1986, Hospital Bayan has been serving the Miskito Indian and Garifuna communities. These communities consist of about 15 different indigenous villages located along the Miskito coast. At this time, Hospital Bayan has over 6,000 patient files, and the numbers continue to grow. Hospital staff is made up of 3 pioneer nurses, a lab technician, an administration team, the Youth Year Service volunteers, and 2 Honduran doctors. Our doctors see anywhere from 0 to 25 patients a day. The office serves as a consultation room, exam room, and occasionally an emergency room. Hospital Bayan provides the best health care in this area. The hospital is open 6 days a week from 8 to 5 and is often open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day for the frequent hospitalized and emergency patients. Our pharmacy is very well equipped with over 150 medicines from all over the world. Our laboratory can perform most basic tests. Among these are hemoglobin, malaria, tuberculosis, and pregnancy. About 10 patients a month use our radiography facility. also have a pediatric room and patient rooms. A prep room and a surgery room. The surgery room is used for deliveries, physical therapy, and occasional minor surgeries. Major surgeries are performed 2 weeks out of the year. A volunteer surgery team and their families work closely together with the volunteer youth to provide much-needed surgeries, such as hernia repair, hysterectomies, and elective surgery. The communities benefit greatly from the relative accessibility and these convenient health services offered by Hospital Bayan.
Yeah, 6 weeks into our mobile clinic to, I believe, it's 7 different communities along the lagoon and the river. On one side is the lagoon and the river, and the other side is the ocean. So it's a thin strip of land, and there are several communities, both Garifuna and Mestizo. We carry our medicine with us as much as we can from the pharmacy and the hospital. We wear backpacks, as I was saying earlier. We wear packs. The doctor and myself. I'm the nurse, and Dr. Nelly, who's Garifuna. And we have actually consultations out in the communities, just like we do in the clinic here in the hospital. What we try to do is provide more thorough care for the people in this area, because there are levels of economy here as there are anywhere else, and for some people it is too expensive to come in a Cayuco taxi to the hospital. They can't get here. So what we do is try to take our medical expertise out to their homes, and we actually, if there's someone sick in their bed in their house, we go to their house and provide medical care. Or we take an unoccupied house in a community and set up a small clinic for the day, and people can come here. And this way we hope to have more follow-through to identify more problems in the community, medical problems, such as if, for instance, there's a bad bomba, a bad well, and a lot of people are getting parasites and amoebas in a certain area, we might identify that as being a bad bomba. There may be certain kinds of infections that are occurring in isolated areas that we can identify this way. And also we can treat the family as a whole and the human being as a whole, because we see their environment, we see their spiritual situation, hopefully, we see their physical, we see possibly emotional problems, economic problems in the family. We also work with the local agentes de salud, the agents who have been through a course here at Bayan, who live in the community, and we work with them in terms of their health education for the community. For me, it's very rewarding, because I like being in people's houses, I like being out of the institution of a hospital, I like going into people's homes and being with them there, because health is more dynamic than just inside the walls of a hospital. Sometimes you need the hospital, but if you don't, it's good to get out. For me, it's a lot of physical tests. We walk sometimes to villages along the beach, and we carry our packs, and we get bitten by sand fleas, and we have mosquitoes, and it's painful, and your back is sore, and you have all these physical tests which hopefully to help me with my spiritual attributes.
Hear me now, star. Give me some ragamuffin beats, y'all. Go jam. We are go jam in a style and pattern. It's a hip hop when me pan the microphone stand. The people them not know where me really come from. Me tall, me no short, I say me slim, me no fat. And every time me rock, me say the crowd they may say, you are my sunshine, yeah, my only sunshine light. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. So watch a man, and me say you are the woman and I me are the man. And everything we do, you know we do it real strong. We mad luck the dance all in a style and fashion. Me and me girl I say she need million. The talk of the tongue is that we have to wave friends. One of them fatter and one of them slim. I call them rootsy, rootsy, rootsy and whoopsie. Rootsy, rootsy, rootsy and whoopsie. Yeah. Rootsy, rootsy, rootsy and whoopsie. Rootsy, rootsy, rootsy and whoopsie. I say yeah. You are my sunshine, right? My only sunshine, yeah. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. So watch a man now. Hey! 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 Separation in the land, separation in the land.
Our long-term vision sees Bayan as being a center for training people in the knowledge and capacities necessary for the development of rural communities. This is, to a large extent, influenced by the Fundeac model developed in Colombia. And so that's, in general, the vision of Bayan over the long term.
Se escucha el viento cantando, lírica borinqueña, por los campos sonando, lírica borinqueña, por los campos sonando. Escribo lírica borinqueña, canción trigueña de mi país, música caribeña, de la tierra en que nací. por los campos sonando. Pero que escúchame cantar, que escúchame inspirar para ti, lirica bonita.
Training programs and environmental educational programs that it just requires more help in more areas. And we need to have people come that are willing to do anything that needs to be done.
From the north to the south, from the east to the west, we are praying all over this beautiful planet for peace in the world. Peace. Check this out. Looking in my heart, I gotta find a way. I wanna do my part, I wanna make that change. There's fighting in the streets, what's it all about? Can we stop the hate? Can we work it out? And I can make a difference. The love that we're feeling, I truly believe in. And I can make a change. Love will show us how. Love will be the is what we live for. Hand in hand, we'll make a change. Love is what we live for. Heart to heart, we'll find a way. Yeah, we're gonna make that change.
Address some special words to parents of youth. Parents who are worried about their children leaving home, going off to a strange place where they can get sick, where they may not have the conveniences of communication, where they're just kind of not where their parents feel like they can protect them. And I want to know, I'm looking at it from 2 points of view, both from the point of view of Bayan, where we've had, I don't know, 40 or 50 youth come, and also from the point of view of a father who attended the World Congress. We probably ran into a dozen youth who had spent anywhere from 2 weeks to 10 months at Bayan. And almost to a person, they said that this was the most important experience of their life, that it changed their lives. I particularly remember reading in the American Baha'i a letter written to I believe to the youth committee, from the mother of one youth who had been down here just for two weeks period of time, who talked about how her daughter had changed completely, at least from the mother's point of view, in terms of her maturity, her dedication to the faith, from coming down in just a 2-week period of time. Now, we've often, those of us who live here at Bayan, have been mildly surprised and wondered what is it about the experience that seems to cause this profound change in the youth that come. So I think it's probably a number of things. One is, any time that you arise to serve the cause of God, it attracts the blessings of Baha'u'llah.
Bayan youth here right now. And
I'm Hi, my name is Christy.
hi, I'm Jennifer.
Hi, Monet.
And we're the Bayan youth here right now.
Okay, I want to talk about what I do here at Bayan. I'm going to be here for a year overall, and I came to help out with the administration of the hospital. And this project, Hospital Bayan, is not only a hospital, but it's also development projects like training for health educators and health promoters, and for just development, trying to get the community to develop more. So I am helping in the administration office of this wonderful project so that it can function, and I enjoy it a lot.
Well, I'd like to talk about the teaching project. The teaching projects start out in the summertime with a lot of youth. A lot of youth come in the summer, and this past summer we went to many, many different villages, and we did 2 weeks of intense teaching trips, and it was a really great experience because we got to meet a lot of different people, and we got to stay in a lot of interesting places. We got to stay with the village people, we got to stay in huts, and we got to sleep in hammocks and on floors, and we got to walk the whole way. So we walked miles and miles across these different villages, and it was really a great experience teaching the faith. Also, what we do here now at Bayan, what we've done since people have left that have been here in the summer, are many different things. We get to work in the hospital, we get to help in administrative jobs, and we also get to do different random like house chores and things like that. It's been really fun working in the hospital because I've been able to work there for like about 3 or 4 weeks, and the first week I was there even I got to help out with the delivery and also with minor surgeries. So it's been a really, really interesting experience. I think that's the only place in the whole world where we'd be allowed or be able to do this kind of work one-on-one so quickly. So I've had a great experience here so far, and I'll probably be leaving in a couple months. But Monet will tell you what we're going to be doing soon.
Okay, Jennifer and I, and another youth, Deborah, who's coming from Venezuela, are going to be going out into one of the Distrito of Venezuela communities to work with the assembly and children's classes, and just in developing the Baha'i communities and getting to know the people in the communities better. So we're going to be doing that for the next 2 months, just the 2 of us, and then Deborah will continue after we leave.
We've been doing children's classes now and youth classes. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Fridays and Saturdays, and we've gotten a lot of youth coming to classes, about 12 or 13 youth come, so that's been doing very well also.
Okay, another thing I wanted to mention was that I've been here for about 9-10 months now, and when I first came, the surgery team came right after me, and that's a group of surgeons from the state. And me and another youth who was here, Maria, were able to assist in surgery and just get right in there with, whatever the surgeon was doing. He let us suture and just do all the stuff that he was doing. So that was a really wonderful experience. And so I've had a really full experience here, the hospital, teaching trips. I was a teacher for a while for one of the Pioneers' children. And so I just had a really wonderful time here, and I thank everybody at Bayan for everything. Thanks. Thanks.
The House of Justice is currently the center of the covenant of Baha'u'llah. And it's the House of Justice who's called upon the youth of the world to arise and to dedicate a period of their lives while youth to service of the cause of God. And this in itself guarantees the fact that it will draw blessings, because it puts youth, in my own point of view, well within the stream, in a sense, of the covenant. And then I think finally, this experience is so foreign to what most American and European youth experience. The fact that they're exposed to people living with no water, no electricity, where they have to walk hours at times down the beach. They sleep on dirt floors or in hammocks on the teaching trips. They have to shower out of a bucket and using cold water. And all of these things just serves to give them a different reference point in terms of what they need in life. And I think puts, at least it's capable of putting it into perspective, that many of the things that youth in the United States take for granted and kind of see as necessities, youth coming down to a project like Bayan or many others in the developing world, realize that life can really be gotten along just fine without many of the complications and things that we tend to consider to be essential. Now, youth play a very important role in the life of Bayan. And I think this is probably true of all the projects, at least that I'm aware of. I know Maxwell School depends heavily on youth. I'm aware that the Baha'i World Center depends heavily on youth. Youth bring a whole spirit to them, and in a sense, I consider them to be the lifeblood of Bayan. That they're moving in and moving out, and we try and keep contact with them. But they provide this element of vitality, vigor, curiosity, and other aspects that add enormously to the richness of life.
Now's the time for the lovers of God to raise high the banners of unity, to intone the assemblages of the world, the verses of friendship and love, and to demonstrate to all that the grace of God is one. Thus will the tabernacles of holiness be upraised on the summits of the earth, gathering all the peoples into the protective shadow of the word of oneness. This great bounty will dawn over the world at the time when the lovers of God shall rise to carry out his teachings and to scatter far and wide the fresh, sweet sense of universal love.